only upon rewatching Star Trek. The Next Generation did I remember Kirsten Dunst's character from Season 7. There are countless surprises awaiting viewers who return to Star Trek. The Next Generation TNG with fresh eyes. Whether it's the intricate character development, the subtle social commentary, or the emotional punch of episodes that once felt routine, the series rewards repeat viewings in big ways. But nothing prepared me for the strange jolt of recognition I felt during a Season 7 rewatch, when a familiar child's face suddenly appeared on screen. Wait, is that Kirsten Dunst? Yes. Yes. It is. Before she was Claudia in Interview with the Vampire, before Bring It On, before Spider-Man, a young Kirsten Dunst made a one-episode appearance on TNG, and it's a blink and you miss it moment that has faded into the background of the show's deep legacy. And yet, upon rediscovery, her performance and the episode's themes feel even more powerful than they did decades ago. Dunst's debut in the Trek universe. Kirsten Dunst appears in Season 7, Episode 7, titled Dark Page. In this emotional episode, the usually composed and stoic Waxana Troy, played by Majel Barrett, begins suffering from severe mental stress, eventually falling into a coma. As counselor Deanna Troi tries to reach her mother telepathically, she uncovers repressed trauma, specifically, the tragic death of Waxana's first daughter, Kestra, a secret so painful it was buried even from Deanna herself. Dunst plays Hedril, a young Cairn girl with powerful telepathic abilities. The Cairn are a race newly introduced in the episode, and Hedril is one of the children Waxana has been tutoring as part of a cultural exchange. While Hedril's actual screen time is limited, her presence is essential. She becomes a subconscious stand-in for the lost Kestra, triggering the unraveling of Waxana's mental shields and pushing the narrative toward its emotional climax. A small role with a big impact. Rewatching the episode, Dunst's portrayal as Hedril stands out not just because we now recognize her face, it's the sensitivity and restraint in her performance that strikes a chord. For someone so young, her ability to express empathy, innocence, and subtle emotional intelligence fits perfectly in the Star Trek mold. She doesn't feel like a child actor dropped into a sci-fi world. She feels like part of the world. The episode itself is a rare exploration of deep maternal grief and suppressed trauma in Star Trek. And it's a credit to both Barrett and Dunst that their scenes together feel so tender. Hedril is calm and curious, and in contrast to Waxana's cracking facade, she is a reminder of innocence unburdened by loss. The visual resemblance between Hedril and the deceased Kestra isn't just convenient for the plot, it underscores how grief can warp perception and turn everyday encounters into emotional landmines. Forgotten in the shadow of stardom. It's ironic how easily this role is forgotten in discussions of Kirsten Dunst's career. She's been in so many culturally iconic films, from Melancholia to The Virgin Suicides, that her brief visit to the final season of TNG feels like a footnote. But it's a remarkable footnote. It shows that even at a young age, Dunst could contribute something meaningful to a story centered on emotional complexity. And for Star Trek fans, it's a reminder of just how many rising stars passed through the Enterprise D. Dunst's appearance joins a long list of surprise guest spots. Famke Janssen, Ashley Judd, Terry Hatcher, and even Tom Hardy in Nemesis are among the actors who had early roles in the franchise before making it big elsewhere. Why Dark Page hits differently on rewatch. Dark Page is not the most action-packed or lore-heavy episode of TNG, which is probably why it flies under the radar. But upon rewatch, it's one of the most emotionally resonant. Watching it as an adult, especially as someone who has experienced personal loss, adds layers of depth to Waxana's breakdown. What once seemed like a melodramatic subplot now feels like an honest depiction of mental health struggles and the psychological toll of unprocessed grief. Waxana is typically played for comic relief in the series, a whirlwind of flirtation and flamboyance. But in Dark Page, she is humanized in a way that elevates her beyond caricature. It also deepens the relationship between mother and daughter in a way the series hadn't dared explore before. And in the center of it all is Hedril, Kirsten Dunst, holding the mirror to a mother's pain, and in doing so, helping her begin the healing process. The joy of rediscovery.